All right, so here we are on the way to Calgary.
Yes.
And I thought, let's just turn the camera on, have a little fun, talk about things.
That's what we do.
Yeah. So we were just talking about the experience of playing G.I. Joe in real life as adults. So tell us what you were thinking, Dave.
Well, I was just thinking because we had to get a couple extra shots with the Humvee, so we took it up and down the mountain a few times. And I'm thinking, I was doing this when I was a kid, driving military vehicles out in the yard. And here I am driving the Humvee that's been in, was it in Desert Storm? I think it was.
Desert Storm.
Yeah. So, we're not doing anything different. It's just on a larger scale. The really cool thing that Neil and I were just talking about, though, is that as a job goes, we're at work with people that want to be there. They're having fun. They're being creative. They're allowing themselves to kind of take risks as characters or as special effects artists. You name it. Look at the credits. There's an army that makes a film. And we're thinking, how lucky are we? Seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's one of those things where sometimes you can't believe that you get to actually do this for a living, for fun. It's just so much fun. It feels more like a pastime.
Yeah.
But it's work. It's still work.
It's a business. Yeah. It's a business.
Exactly. It is a business, and it's a lot of hard work for a lot of people. And it's not to say people don't take it seriously, because they do. Yeah. However, all that aside, there's moments when you catch yourself and you're like, I'm literally G.I. Joe at this moment.
You're like, what?
Yeah. I get to play out these fantasies, these dreams I had as a kid, right? Because you watch a movie as a kid, you watch a movie like Predator or Commando or Rambo or something like this when you're a kid, and that's what you want to do. You want to dress up in those cool fatigues. You want to gear up and drive all those cool cars or motorcycles or airplanes or whatever, and get into these firefights with the bad guys or fist fights, stuff like this. And now here we are actually doing it.
Yeah.
And that is an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and we're doing it in part because everybody's kind of pulling their own weight, showing up, bringing their A game. It's moving along smoothly. So your level of fun is based on the organization of the entire team and everybody working together. If things were lacking, there would be more stress. There, all of those things that you and I have seen on bigger films and bigger budgets, where it's like, why isn't anybody smiling or having fun? We're making a movie. Come on.
But it's true. It's like the bigger the budget, at times it seems like the higher the stress levels, because there's so much more on the line. I think that's one of the advantages of doing indie film, is because your budgets are so small, comparatively speaking. There's still a lot of money for us, but compared to studio movies, they're nothing. They're a drop in the bucket. But that gives you a certain level of freedom, both creatively and just, I don't know, mentally.
Yeah.
Right? You feel more at ease to say, hey, let's have some fun. Let's try different things out that we normally might not, because we wouldn't dare, because, oh my God, this is costing us too much money. We don't have time for that. We have to stick to this rigid schedule, and we have to get very specific shots, and we have to get these scenes. And if we don't get them, we're screwed.
Yeah. And now be creative under that stress. Yeah. Just free yourself. It'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, how the hell can you be creative under that kind of restrictive environment?
Yeah.
It does take a special breed of people, like the directors that do it successfully, for example, and the actors and filmmakers. My God, I'll give them all the credit in the world, because they really know how to navigate that fine line. It is a tightrope in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We're not there. We're not playing at those budget levels, and we don't answer to anybody. That's the other thing that indie film allows you.
Yeah.
We are the bosses.
Yeah.
So the only people we're answering to is ourselves, right?
And there's freedom to explore the magic. When stuff happens, Neil and I will notice it as directors, and we'll really dive in and go, listen, that's a really cool choice. Let's explore this. because we've got the time to do it. We've scheduled the shoot so that if moments come up, we can play with them a little bit. And it's that freedom that you're talking about. And everybody on Contamination had so much fun, but they were also very, very focused. And we stuck to schedule. And some days we even finished early, which, we just shoot 10 pages of script and then we're done at 30 minutes early, and we've got all the coverage. I remember you and I talking about, did we get it all? We'd sit there and we go through, okay, that all this shot, that shot. But yeah, it was organized, and people had fun, and that's the main thing, because that transcends the film. The audience will feel that. They feel that people that made this movie had a lot of fun, and it's some kind of intrinsic value that when you watch the film, you're like, I'm having fun too because of it. Right?
I agree. And I think to take it a step further, the audience can feel the passion and the heart behind the movie too, right? Like there's the fun aspect of it. I think a lot of big Hollywood movies must be a lot of fun to make too. But sometimes you get the feeling like maybe the people involved weren't as passionate about the work. Maybe for them it's just a paycheck, and it could be a really good paycheck, and they put in very professional work and very good level of work, but it's almost like that extra little element is missing, and that element is just the heart, the passion that goes into it, to say, I really love not just what I'm doing, not just the profession of filmmaking, but I love this specific story. I love this moment, this genre, the thing that we are making. I love that specifically. And when the audience can sense that, then I think it makes it a lot easier for them to fall in love with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it comes across in all levels. It comes across in the special effects, in the acting, in the score, which I'm kind of partial to.
Absolutely,
right? It brings out the creativity in that end. We were lucky. I mean, thanks to everybody that worked on it, and to everybody that's come out and seen it, and it's still going. I mean, we're just starting this.
Yeah. Like I said, we're on our way down to Calgary right now. This is our second weekend of our film being in theaters in Canada. The second, hopefully, of many. We know that there's at least a few more on the horizon. It's pretty amazing, actually. Like the reception to our film has been, to us, just incredible.
Yeah. Humbling. Really.
Yeah, it really is. People are have responded so well. The fact that, when you're sitting in a theater with a crowd of people and they laugh at the right moments, they gasp at the right moments, they are quiet at the right moments. You know what I mean?
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
It's such
right?
energy.
It is. And when you see those moments firsthand, you think to yourself, God damn, we did it.
Yeah.
Right? Like mission accomplished. Yeah, exactly. Because I'll tell you guys, that's probably the most nerve-wracking moment of when you make a movie, is the first time you play it in front of strangers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter how many there are.
No.
It could be an entire theater full of people, or it could be just like a room full of people in your house watching on TV.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't know how they're going to react, that can grate the nerves a little bit,
Oh yeah.
It's a good learning experience no matter what happens, because it teaches you, like, okay, maybe I need to tweak this or change that if something's not working.
Yeah.
But it also validates in a huge way when it does work. Because then it's like, okay, then we did things right at the story level. And to me, that's what it always translates to.
Yeah.
It's like, at heart, was the story good? Was it something that the audience resonates with? Are the characters written well enough that the audience identifies with them and wants to follow them on their journey? Is the dialogue good enough that the audience finds meaning in it, that they find, laughter in the jokes, that they find that sense of sadness if it's a particularly poignant moment and things like this.
Yeah.
Right. So
the human experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And the production value is the window to the story. You don't want any distractions. You want that to be as clear and clean as possible so that you pick up every single nuance. And one thing that we learned, we both edited the film. One thing that we learned in the editing was how finite the detail can be, right? A second off here, a look over there. Like all of that massaging really paid off, I think, for the audience to react to and really absorb.
That's a really good point. From a storytelling perspective, when you're writing the script, a lot of times you don't think about things like that. And in your script, it's hard to gauge sometimes how long specific moments will last, because you as the writer, you might have some idea of it, but it's really hard to convey that through the words on the page. And it really becomes a question of pacing in the editing room more than anything else, where you have the director and the editor, sometimes one and the same. In our case, it was the two of us, right? Tweaking these moments. And sometimes you have to like really experiment and be like, how long do we linger here?
Yeah.
Do we cut away quickly? Do we let the moment breathe?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Do we give it an extra beat? All these questions. And sometimes you just don't know until you try. And that's funny to me because I think it's a good storytelling lesson for the writers out there, because what it tells you is all those different ways of approaching it was based on the exact same words on the page. Right. So it's written one way, but it's filmed or edited in multiple ways, which can change the entire feel of the moment and sometimes even the entire movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And in your action, and this as a writer, when you're writing action, you're really also indicating the shots in a creative way.
Yes.
And you can kind of feel the pace in the action paragraphs. But it's open to interpretation. I've always heard that there's three storytellers. There's the main, the conceptual storyteller, the writer, then the director's vision, right, telling the story visually, and then the editor's telling the story as if the one that's reading the story back, right?
I like that.
The presenter.
It's true.
Yeah. So three storytellers, and it's open to interpretation. And at the end of the day, what you get is everybody's collaborative effort is the ultimate story that comes out. That's what you're left with. And it's exciting because you never quite know until you're in it, and then you're in the editing suite. You're like, okay, this is affecting me in a certain way. And Neil and I are always thinking about the audience. What are we trying to tell the audience in this moment? Right. And we're always trying to stay a little bit ahead, because if you're given too much, you'll sit back and you relax. We kind of want to stay ahead, let the audience catch up a little bit. Audiences love to be had. You do a 180, right? Do a swing. I thought I had it, but no. But it's knowing where to put those in, and a lot of times that happens in the edit and in the timing. So we just love this.
Like, to your point, Dave, you write for the audience, so you're trying to meet audience expectations, but you also have to think about what does the audience want in terms of, okay, what are they expecting, but also do they want surprises? Right. How many do they want? What level of surprise do they want too? Because if you just load your film with nothing but surprises, it loses its effectiveness. Like, I've seen that in films. I've seen it with, like, say for example, a badly written murder mystery, where the one where it's like there's a reveal, and then there's another reveal, and then there's another reveal, and by the 12th reveal, you're like, okay, enough already. Like, I don't even care who did it anymore.
Where do I participate in this?
Right. Yeah, because you've lost that audience participation. What you're doing is you're pulling one over on them so many times that they're just like, I'm done. Just end this for me. Right.
So that's something we think about. We think about where you are as the audience and what you need from us, and where you're going to get involved.
Right.
And in a lot of times, that can be something as a simple cutaway It could be something in the score. It could be cut to the drone shot.
Well, it's also a question of, do you trust your audience enough to say these are intelligent people watching this, so I'm going to let them piece together some things for themselves.
Yes.
Because we had this at one of our Q&As at a screening last weekend, where somebody asked a certain question about a certain plot point, and we love the idea of throwing it back at them to say, what do you think this means?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not to say we're being lazy and we're not thinking about the answer to that. Now somebody's caught us in a moment where it's like, oh crap, I didn't think of that. And so I'm just going to pretend like you figure it out. No. It's actually the opposite. It's saying, you are smart. I know you're smart.
Yeah.
Especially, and if you're paying attention, we've left all the breadcrumbs there.
Yeah.
But we leave enough room for interpretation that even though there's a specific narrative we're trying to say, and we know all the answers story-wise, but we want to leave just the right amount of gaps in that narrative for you to fill it in yourself and go, here's what I think happened.
That's right. And then it's your movie.
It's your movie, and then it's your discussions with your friends, with your family members, with us, to say, here's what I think happened in that moment. Am I right? Am I wrong? And we love those discussions.
Yeah, that's great.
Because sometimes people come up with stuff that we never even considered. And it's like, you know what? In my head, that wasn't what happened, or even on the page, that wasn't what happened. But I like your take. And it's not really any more right or wrong than mine, because great art is in its subjectivity.
Yeah.
And part of the subjectivity is participation. The only reason it's subjective in the first place is it something the audience wants to participate with? Why is great art great? It's because the audience finds meaning in it.
Yes,
right?
That's exactly it.
They won't find meaning in something they don't want to participate in. So that's why great movies stay around with people forever, because people are constantly talking about them, thinking about them, discussing them. If the movie was to give away everything in a way that, like, it's just like all exposition and there's no intrigue, no mystery, everything is answered, that is the most boring ass movie you can imagine.
You have nothing to do.
Right. You don't participate. You're just given a lecture.
Yeah.
That's like sitting in an insurance seminar and you're just being given facts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no difference. So participation means you have to leave enough gaps that the audience can fill in those moments themselves. But you have to know which gaps, and you have to know how many and how big and all of those things, because that matters. Because if you make those gaps too big and you're not answering important questions, now suddenly the audience is like, wait a minute, that makes no sense, or there's a plot hole here, things like this.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to nuance, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
The things I'm talking about aren't the big questions, they're the nuanced questions. And that's where all the flavor comes from.
Yeah, exactly. It's the spice.
Yeah. So on that, we're going to take a little break and then move back.